First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to the true and living power, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the true name of His only begotten Son, and there is no God beside them. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who definitely rule well, and honors and citations to the hopeful elect, the Water Tiabash Shai, for blessing me and allowing me to do another lesson. In this lesson, I want to get into this guy at the job asked me a question because I know his brother, and I told his brother about the truth a while ago, long ass time ago, and like 10 years ago, and then so now I'm finally working with this guy's brother, and so he asked me, not like I'm talking about these things at work, because we try and be Clark Kent, but he already knows. But he asked me, he said, "Yo, so you believe in that slavery stuff like my brother does?" And I just said, "Yeah," because the job is just me, him, and like two other people. So, but anyhow, the point of the matter is the lesson at hand, that yes, slavery is in the scriptures, because when I told him, yeah, I said to myself, all right, well then that's going to be a lesson, getting into how it's in the scriptures. So it's not even a matter of, do I believe it? Like he said, do you believe it like my brother does? It's not a matter of that we believe it. It's not a matter that it's some damn type of fantasy. It's not a matter that we wishing, not a matter that we're bitter and angry at society and wish that could happen. The thing about it is, it's in the scriptures. Okay? So if you call yourself believing in the Bible, then ultimately you would believe in it too. And, so now we're going to just get the scriptures, get some scriptures to prove that, yes, slavery is gonna be coming back when the Lord returns. All right, you got plantation Christianity church. They ignore the fact. They skip over the fact. They can only speak about certain things. Okay, they have a 501c3 charter. Okay, which is a damn gag order. It was created by Lyndon B. Johnson, who was like the governor of Texas, and he was a damn Democratic liberal, and he's the one that decided that these politics shouldn't take place in church, because the church, you would have the church vote, and the church, if they got taught the whole truth, they would always vote conservative. They were not so much Republican, but conservative, because the scriptures are what? Anti-abortion, anti being a mole. It's against most things that these liberals stand for. So Lyndon B. Johnson, seeing this, this is just me putting two and two together. Him seeing this, came in with that charter, the 501c3 charter agreement, in which it would have the church to be tax exempt. So long as you speak about certain things. And I got that video on that. Matter of fact, I'll play some of it. Stop here real quick, just to back up what I said. It's called the Johnson Amendment. The Johnson Amendment is a provision in the U.S. tax code since 1954 that prohibits all 501c3 nonprofit organizations. So he made it so that it prohibits, like it says, these 501c3 organizations, so Salakia, from endorsing or opposing political candidates. So I don't think he necessarily, of course, created the 501c3, but he's the one that made them. He's the one that made it what it is as far as not getting political, as we can see. All right. Yeah. So, all right, now I'm gonna get the video. Okay, Kong.
And Obama get to 270 electoral votes? Well, his clearly strongest voter group is African Americans, and hundreds of preachers and other religious leaders are going to get a pep talk of sorts from members of the Congressional Black Caucus on how to combat the recent rise in voter ID laws. I'm joined now by the chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, Congressman Emanuel Cleaver, Democrat from Missouri, who is also an ordained minister. Congressman, it's good to see you. Good morning.
Good to be with you.
So you've got this big summit tomorrow. Essentially, what is your message to several hundred clergy members, I understand, who will be there?
Yes, we'll have representatives from 9 denominations who actually pastor somewhere in the neighborhood of about 10 million people.
See that?
And we're going to, first of all, equip them with the information they need to know about what they can say and what they cannot say in the church that would violate their 501c3 status with the IRS. In fact,
there you have it.
We're going to have the IRS administrator there. We're going to have the Attorney General, Eric Holder, there. We're going to have the...
There you have it. You know? And he said that they pastor over how many people? 10 million people not getting the 100% truth. 10 million people getting a watered down Bible. Okay? So what they can and cannot say. Now, you think slavery is something that they could say? Something that they could talk about? You know, and I went into all that because, you know, you would say, well, if that's the case, why come you got is millions of Christians and they never speak about how slavery is in the Bible and they believe in the Bible? Well, there you have it. That's why. So, you know, allow us who have free reign. Look what Trump even said. Look. In the early 21st century, some politicians, including President Donald Trump, have sought to repeal the provision, arguing that it restricts the free speech rights of churches. So they don't have their free speech is restricted. But guess what? Not ours. That's why we're able to talk about all these things. That now it seems absurd because it's almost comes off as it's a new thing. But if they all had free speech, this would be a well-known thing. Everybody would know about it. All right, so without further ado, let's get some quick scriptures. And then that'll be the lesson. But I wanted to get into that because people out here don't got the free speech to teach the whole 100% truth of the Bible. So it's Jeremiah 30:16 says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So now who devoured? Now this is talking of the Israelites, right? Because it says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. All right, and Zion is a representation of the Israelites. So all the adversaries of the Israelites, all that devoured the Israelites, all that spoiled the Israelites, is going to reap what they sow. Everyone shall go into captivity. All right, what's another word for captivity? Slavery. A captive. Come on, man. Look, the captivity, the condition of being imprisoned. Here it is right here. Boom. Slavery. Boom. Come on. Now, I mean, of course, history itself tells you who had us in captivity. I mean, come on. But here it is. All nations conspired against us at one point. This is Psalms 83. And I'll start verse 3 or 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who's the Lord's people? The Israelites. Let's get a quick precept. Matthew 2:6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Back in Psalms 83:3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right, and they did that through forms of devouring us, through forms of bringing us into captivity, preying upon us. Until this day, they prey upon us, getting us to sin, getting us to go against our power. Verse 5, they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And who are the Edomites? That's another lesson. But the Edomites are the so-called white people today. Not all of them, not every single last one of them, just because your skin is white. But that's the main indicator of the nation of Edom today. And the Ishmaelites, those are the Arabs of today. Of Moab, those are so-called Chinese today. All right. And the Hagarenes, I believe those are more of an, let me see real quick. I was going to say that, of the Arabian, pretty much one section of Arabs of today. I thought of, because dealing with the name Hagar. But anyway, as you can see, it enlists all these nations. All right. And more so, First Maccabees 2:10. It says, what nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? You know, meaning spoiling us, the Israelites. What nation hasn't played a part in fucking us over, preying upon us, devouring us? So that's why when Yahushua returns, Revelation chapter 2, and regardless, when Yahushua returns, he's coming down to lay a law. He's coming down to lay a certain law that these nations are not going to be with. This is, and the reason why they're eventually going to be with it is because they're going to be shackled up. There's Revelation 2:26, the New Testament at that. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Power over the nations. When they had us into captivity, they had power over us. They had the power to tell us when to go to sleep. Lights out, ninjas. They had the power to tell us when we're going to work, how long we're going to work, what we're going to eat for today. They had the power over us to do wickedness over us. Just come and sleep with our wives, sleep with our daughters by force, taking them in, buck breaking them, sleeping with the men. They had power over us to do whatever they wanted. They had power over us as a nation. But now we're going to have the power over them as a nation. But we're going to do it in righteousness. So verse 27, what are we going to do with that power that we have over them? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. We're going to rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. So we're going to break them. Like a vessel that's broken to pieces, we're going to break them. Okay? So that's slavery, man. Straight up. Come on, Revelation 9. Actually, Revelation, I think 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See, they led us into captivity. Now they're going to be led into captivity. And there's a break-off point. When Yahushua returns, that's the break-off point. Because we're going to be perfect at that point. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. See? So, this is just a quick rundown. So that you're able to see in the scriptures that, yes, slavery does exist and is mentioned in the scriptures in the New Testament and in the Old Testament as a future prophecy. So it's not a matter of, you believe in that slavery thing. It's not a matter of I believe in it. It's a matter that it's in the scriptures. Okay? And whatever is in the scriptures is true and will come to pass. So, Lord willing is edifying, and with that, I'm going to say shalom.